Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Bobby W223, and I was having some kind of technical difficulties with my camera, so I'm gonna just play the audio over this gameplay of The Last of Us, so you guys can just hear what I'm saying and check it out that way. All right. Oh, and sorry, I got some music playing in the background for some of the audio, so just bear with me. PS4. Start off with God of War. That's pretty much Sony's, I guess, mascot. Kratos, arguably, and that's one of PlayStation's most popular exclusives, is God of War. And I remember a couple of years ago, David Jaffe was asked a question about how would he, if he was in charge of God of War 3, how would he do it, and blah blah blah. And basically this kind of I'm just kind of going off of what he said, but long story short, basically, what I would love to see is them make God of War open world. One, I would love us to see them at least take 5 years to come out with another God of War for two reasons. One, I want an open world God of War game that would take time to do, and then also to give us time to miss God of War, because they've been kind of milking it. Maybe not as much as like Ratchet and Clank. That game is is like spoiled as milk. But God of War definitely is getting up there. So I think at least 5 year, they should kind of take to come out another God of War, give us time to miss it, this, that, and the other. Yeah, and I would love to see an open world God of War game. So yeah, basically, what I like to see, since pretty much the whole Greek mythology thing is gone, what I like to see, which once again is what David Jaffe said, is for them to take. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like drive and music pause and shit. So I love to see them take basically the other mythologies, like the Norse mythology with Thor and different things like that, and have them go to those different areas around the world, go to Egypt and fight, like the Egyptian gods, fight the like Sphinx, things like that. David Jaffe was saying with the Sphinx, what would be cool is like he freezes it with the Medusa, head, which is why it's like a statue and why the nose is broken, because he fought, and just maybe go to like China and fight the Buddhist gods, maybe, as long as they don't piss anybody off. I know some of these mythologies and religions, they don't want to piss anybody off. I'm just giving examples of like different areas around the world that have these iconic gods and things of that nature to see Kratos do. And I'm basically, I was kind of thinking like a mixture between like a Legend of Zelda-esque world and like a Skyrim, like a big ass like Skyrim type of world with kind of like a Legend of Zelda-esque type of layout where you have like your main hub world, and you just kind of go off of there. Now, not only that, before the online, since Ascension had online and stuff like that, I would love to see basically an MMO RPG. And I think from what they've done so far with Ascension. Alright, sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties, but I'm just outside now. I was going to finish the video here. It's a pretty nice day. But like I was saying, with if you look at God of War Ascension and how they did the online, basically, I feel like they kind of set the foundation up for what they can do with an actual MMO online game for God of War. I remember BG actually talked about this like a few months ago, about how he felt like Ascension kind of shows what they could do if they want to make an actual MMO RPG mode, or even just a separate game or whatever for God of War. You can kind of see with the different classes and things like that. So just like, this camera's tripping, sorry, but so just like in Ascension, how you can align with Ares or Hades or whoever, they can just expand upon that. Like I said, in single player, how you fight gods from over in Egypt, or so on and so forth, fighting Thor and the other Norse gods, things like that. And they can have for the MMO portion of the game where you can align with those gods, you know what I'm saying, like they can just add on to the choices. So instead of just having Zeus, Ares, Hades, Poseidon, whatever, they can also have Thor, you see what I'm saying? Like they can add on to that and have it be in this big open world, just like the single player. They can all be based in the same world. And you just online God of War MMO game, that would be sick. That would obviously take time. Like I said, at least 5 years, which will give people plenty of time to miss it, and it will give them plenty of time to kind of bring God of War back to what it used to be. Not that God of War is bad, but it is getting stale. I think we all can agree, on that. And I'm a God of War fan, but I think if they took some time to really kind of refresh the series, something like that could be really good. As far as the game, I'll jump to another game. As far as a game like Uncharted, honestly, with Uncharted, not that it would be bad if it was open world, but honestly, a game like that, I'm actually more fine with that staying linear. I mean, they could open it up, somewhat more, because we all know eventually there's going to be an Uncharted for the PS4. That's pretty much going to happen. I think we all know that. But they can pretty much keep it the same far as like level design, but like honestly I really don't know what they can do with that game. I mean, it's all about going to these uncharted lands, even though Uncharted 2 and even Uncharted 3 to some extent weren't really in these uncharted areas. But anyway, there's tons of places they can go around the whole world. I know I think it was Gamer 23 I want to say it was him, or maybe it was Breezy, one of those guys. Shouts to them. One of those guys, I think, was talking about how they should maybe do something in like the Bermuda Triangle, which would be kind of cool because the whole thing with the Bermuda Triangle and people disappearing and all that shit, something like that, or like the city of Atlantis, So there's definitely things that they can do, like they can get more mythical with the game or whatever. Sorry, whatever, but as far as that, honestly, I want to see a Jak and Daxter before I see another Uncharted. As far as The Last of Us goes, I really do think that they need to leave The Last of Us alone. Everybody's like, oh, it turns to a franchise and blah, blah. I think that would just kind of tarnish a game like that. In my opinion, they really only need one. I mean, yes, they could do another one, and they could keep going with the story or whatever, or they could even have it be about different survivors, whatever. But me personally, I'm satisfied with it just being the way it was. Not because the game was bad, but I feel a game like that, it doesn't necessarily need more than one. Yeah, I would love to see a Jak and Daxter 4, that would be great, next gen engine, obviously, when I say next gen, yes, I know Naughty Dog said that they're gonna use the same engine that they did for Uncharted and The Last of Us, but when I'm saying next gen, compared to Jak and Daxter, that's next gen. I mean, we haven't had a home console Jak and Daxter game since the PS2, which was the same console that the fucking series started on. The only other system that's been on, I believe, to my knowledge, is the original PSP, and even that game came out a few years ago. So I mean, pretty much anything new is gonna it's gonna look a lot better than what we've seen. That game's great. It'd be cool to see that. They can Sony can give Ratchet and Clank a fucking break and bring Jak and Daxter in there, which is a similar kind of game but still different enough to where I would love to see another Jak and Daxter game. One last thing I'll say with another game is Infamous Second Son. I have a strong feeling, I don't know why, but I got a strong feeling that they're going to have a competitive online on that game. Don't be surprised by next year when the game comes out. Don't be surprised between now and then if they show and announce competitive online multiplayer for that game. I think it could be sick if they can get really creative with the superpowers and give us either a bunch of characters or give us like an option where we can kind of like maybe create our own superhero and have like a pool of superpowers that we can choose from, or I don't know how they would do it exactly with that, but I think it could be sick. I don't know how many maybe like 5-on-5 or like 8-on-8 or something like that in a decent size maps. They can maybe just kind of break apart the different areas from the single player and turn those into multiplayer maps. Have of course free for all and team deathmatch, capture flag, all that good stuff, and maybe make up some other kind of modes that are kind of more specific to superheroes, things like that. But for some reason I think that they might. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just a weird hunch that I have, but we'll see. But yeah, this is your boy Bobby W223. Peace out.